Welcome to Ordinary to Badass, episode number 330. In this episode, we're going to talk all about confidence. Now, sometimes confidence isn't exactly what we think it is. Sometimes we are attaching to the wrong things. And so that's what we're going to talk about today. 10 things that you're attaching to that are sucking your confidence dry. So stay tuned, listen to this episode. You're going to love it. But before we get there, I want to talk about laziness, about what it means to be lazy, or these things that we are calling ourselves, and they're just not true. So I heard Brendon Burchard, love him, such a big fan. So check him out if you haven't already. But he said, you're really not lazy. You've just been discouraged, or you're focusing on the wrong thing. So life happens. We get down because we hit a bum moment. We had a rough time. We experienced some trauma, all of those things, which are okay. They're natural, right? To feel down or feel upset by them. But it's not to stay in that place. Even years after it happens, sometimes people are still stuck in that same place. So maybe you're not lazy. Maybe you're just focused on the wrong thing. Your attention is on the wrong place. Maybe you're not doing the things that light you up. You're not taking any action. You're not taking a step forward. Sometimes it's just one little tiny step that can get you excited. It can get you motivated. It can get you taking action again. But we got to be careful of these things we're saying to ourselves, these labels that we're putting on ourselves, calling ourselves lazy when we're not. But when we label ourselves that way, then we start to believe it and we start to behave the way a lazy person would. So have some reassurance. You are not lazy, even if you didn't do anything this morning, even if you didn't do anything before, right? That's okay. There's now. My friend Lex Lakowski, and he was on the podcast before, he says procrastination ends the second you start. You can start now. No longer consider yourself lazy, right? And I've really been kind of obsessed with this idea of intention lately. And intention is all about your purpose. What is your purpose? And so maybe it's when you get up in the morning thinking about, what is my purpose today? And then that will help you have more purpose throughout the day because you have a reminder of what your intention is. So today, start thinking of what your purpose is. Start thinking of your intentions, the area you want to go towards, how you want to be, right? Don't focus on your laziness. Don't focus on cutting yourself down or putting extra labels on yourself. By the way, calling yourself lazy, when has that ever motivated you? I don't know about you, but that never motivates me. It's just it just makes me feel worse and worse about myself, right? So get rid of those detractors, those things that are cutting you down. Stop labeling yourself things that are not helping you. You are not lazy. You've just lost your purpose. There is nothing wrong with you. Sometimes I really do think we need those lazy times. I think I said that in quotes, but we need those lazy times or down times to really get an urgency for what we want. And so maybe that's what it was for, right? Without that lazy time, maybe you wouldn't have so much oomph to move forward, to make a change, to do something different. A lot of times I have to have something hit me over the head before I make a change. And that's okay. Instead of beating ourselves up with it or over it, let's just go with it. Okay. With that, let's just get to the episode already.
Be confident, be bold, be authentic, but don't forget to take action. This is Ordinary to Badass, where our stories empower women to step into the spotlight of their own lives and pursue what they're truly passionate about. It's time to step into the arena and become more than just extraordinary. It's time to become a badass with your host, Marie Sonneman.
Welcome to Ordinary to Badass. Whether you're ordinary or badass, I am so glad you're here. Today, we're talking about attachment and how it can either boost or break down your confidence, your self-assurance. So confidence isn't just a feeling that you get. It's a vital component to your success, to your well-being. Yet so often we tether our confidence to the wrong anchors. We hitch our self-worth to things that are beyond our control, beyond our talents and our abilities. Yet we start to look at other people's. Oh, what are their talents? Why don't I have those? We look at other people's opinions. We see what everybody else is doing. And then we base ourselves on that, or we base our confidence on that. And we want to stop doing that because you are a badass. You are capable of so much more. In this episode, we're going to dissect 10 ways in which attachment is eroding your confidence and give you strategies to help you break through so you no longer have to deal with it. And especially next episode, it's going to be about tips and strategies to get rid of this attachment and really own your confidence. So whether you found yourself questioning your talents and abilities, seeking validation from those around you, we've all done that at some time or another, right? Or you're just really focused on your past regrets or failures, this episode is for you. So stick around. We're going to get into it. Let's do it. Okay, number one. The first thing is you're attaching your confidence to your abilities. We don't want to do that. We have a range of abilities all over the spectrum, right? When you're first starting something, your ability is probably going to be low to do something because you don't know. You are just learning. So if we're going to say, oh, I'm not going to feel confident until I have like the best of abilities, right? Chances are you're never going to feel confident then. You're always going to be putting it off till the next time. When I do this, then I'll feel confident. Oh, when I'll do this, then I'll feel confident. It's like, no, I'm confident I'll learn. That should be good enough, right? Just being confident that you will learn, that you will figure it out. There was a quote I heard that I absolutely loved, and it was by Dr. Wayne Dyer, and it said, never attach your confidence to your abilities. Attach your confidence to your intentions. Now, intentions, that's more about your purpose. What is your purpose? You're listening to this podcast episode, so I'm going to tell you right now that your purpose is to be a badass. And so attach your confidence to your purpose of being a badass. Ooh, would this help me to feel more badass? Would a badass do this? Would a badass say this? Would a badass step out of their comfort zone? My intention is to be a badass, so that I'm going to behave accordingly. So throw out the abilities and move towards your intention and really focusing on your purpose, focusing on what matters to you, focusing on I don't know what that was. That went flying around, probably a Kono for my dog Kono. He's a husky and sheds like crazy. So anyway, if you're watching the video, by the way, Ordinary to Badass podcast is on video now, so you can watch it on YouTube. I'm being much more consistent with putting it on there. So if you prefer watching it on YouTube, head on over there. You can check it out. Anyways, I digress. Don't attach your confidence to your abilities. Attach it to your intention. Attach it to your intention to be a badass. You are a badass, and so act as a badass would behave. Act as a badass would act, right? Do the things badasses are doing because you are one. So even if you feel like you're newly calling yourself badass, which I love at any stage, it's like, I love it. But when you're like finally owning who you are, that makes me happy. But okay, so attach your confidence to your badassery, attach it to your intention, right? Okay, number two. Now, the second mistake that we make is we attach our age to our confidence. This just isn't true. No matter how old we are, we're always going to have these moments where we don't feel confident. We feel insecure. We feel uncertain or unsure. But as soon as we say, oh, I'm too old to be confident. I'm too old to change now, right? Or I'm too young. Maybe later I'll feel more confident, but right now I'm too young. So your age or the amount of time you have done something that doesn't make you confident. Like your age, you can start at any time, but you have to like build this confidence muscle throughout your lifetime, right? And the more that you build it, the stronger it will get. Even if you fall off for a little bit, you can go right back to it. I recently heard something saying people have to quit things 7 times before they finally give up, right? Or quit and restart before they finally get traction to it. So maybe you're doing this confidence thing and you fall off the wagon and then you get back on. You're like, okay, now I'm going to stick towards practicing confidence and being purposeful about my badassery, right? But we have these moments where we're going to fall off and then we just get back on and keep on going. That is the hard part, is being consistent, being persistent, even when it is hard, even after we had a downtime, even after we gave up for a minute, right? Or we took a break for a minute. No, not you. You are going to persevere. You're going to see through, even if we have mistake after mistake or times where we feel like we lost our confidence. We are going to push through. I'll tell you in a couple how an incident where I lost my confidence on a plane, but we'll get to that. Another experience that comes to mind is Andy J. Pizza. I love his podcast, Creative Pep Talk, and he was talking about at 33 years old, he lost his confidence, like going to like social gatherings and stuff. And I don't recall if this was after COVID, but he had to like re-energize himself, refocus himself, get used to being around people again, get used to being in uncomfortable situations, talking to people again. A lot of times, especially us introverts, right? The natural reaction is to like go within, stay home, not get out of my comfort zone because it's so hard and it's scary out there, right? But it doesn't matter if you're 33, 53, 83, it doesn't matter your age. Even if you're 18, right? That doesn't matter. You are still a badass. You can still keep growing your confidence. It's like a snowball. It keeps getting bigger and bigger the more you practice it, the more you work on it. But you just have to start working on it. And that's it. It just takes a little bit of practice, but your age does not matter. Just because you go into a situation and you feel uncomfortable, use that as like, oh, that's something I can work on. That's something I can fix for the future. Or maybe next time I do it, I'll do it this way, right? But it doesn't have anything to do with your age. That's just a limitation that we're putting on ourselves. Okay, number 3 is attaching to others. This is killing your confidence. So have you ever been in a situation where you like felt uncomfortable? So you attached to other people to feel safe? I'm sure everybody has done this, right? But you find a group because you're like, oh yeah, I need my people around me. I need to feel safe. I need to feel okay. And then you don't feel that way. It actually makes you, in the long run, it makes you more insecure. Maybe you feel safe for that day and you feel better for that day, but in the long run, it doesn't help you gain confidence. And I'm not saying you don't need people, because for sure you need your people. We all need our people, right? But we also need to be able to do some things on our own. Have you ever been like, you wanted to go to an event or do something and you're like, oh, I need somebody. Who can I get to go with me? And then you can't find anybody to go with you, so you don't go. I used to do this all the time. I've done this more times in my life than you can imagine. And it's only been in the last couple of years where I'm like, you know what? If I am waiting on other people to do the things that I want to do, then I'll never be able to do them. So I changed and I just started going and doing things that I wanted to do, because other people, their schedules are different. Their schedules are crazy, or they have different interests and passions than you do. But by going and not attaching to others and doing it anyway, you open yourself up to meet so many other badasses, right? Or experience so many situations you otherwise would not have had a chance to experience. So others aren't bad. For sure, we need our tribe, we need our people. And there are certain times where it is actually physically safer to bring somebody with you. But there's other times where we can expand. We don't need somebody else to be our safety net. So where are you playing it safe? What is a situation that you've wanted to do, but none of your friends or family have wanted to do, so you haven't gotten to do it? Think of that. Think of doing it alone next time. Even if it's for a day, if somebody will meet you like a day later, at least you get that day of freedom. You can ease yourself into it. It doesn't have to be like full bore 1 week vacation by yourself, right? Ease yourself into it, but really not attaching to others and doing things on your own gives you a certain confidence. It helps you to feel self-assured. It helps you to know, like, oh, yeah, you can get through hard things. You can do things you didn't know you could do. And you rely on yourself for directions to get places or getting, I was going to say food for yourself, but we're all, that doesn't make sense. We're all grown adults. We get food for ourselves. But certain things like that, right? We just have to do things on our own. And then it helps us like build some resilience and we're able to rely on ourselves. That's the huge part. Okay, number 4. The fourth thing we're doing is we're attaching to outcomes and we're making those outcomes mean something about us. And usually it's something bad about ourselves, right? So just because something doesn't turn out the way that you expected, the way that you wanted it to, doesn't mean that you should beat up on yourself, that you should lack confidence. We can't control the outcome of everything. We cannot. We can try our best and we can look at, okay, what are the best plans I can make so that it's a good outcome, that it goes towards the desired outcome. But in reality, we can't control it. Some things are going to happen. Maybe you go for a job interview and you just don't get the job. And so then that feels pretty crappy. It feels bad. But the truth is, you could have had a perfect interview. You could have done everything great and still not got the position. It doesn't mean anything about you. It's like they might have just been going in a different direction. You could be awesome, but you're just not the fit for them. Like I said, they're going in a different direction. Or maybe you go all out and you try, but you fail or you feel like you failed and the outcome is just sucky. Okay, that happens. But that doesn't mean anything about you. It doesn't mean you shouldn't have tried. It doesn't mean you didn't do enough. It doesn't mean that things can't change the next go round. But if we're trying to control our reality, we're going to fail every single time if we can't control that outcome. We absolutely can't. You can have the best laid plans. You can use all the information you have and go for it. But if things don't turn out the way you want, in the end, you just got to say, okay, what can I learn from this? What can I do moving forward? Because if we're attached to the outcome and it's not what we want, then we feel crappy. We feel like, oh, why did I do this? I'm such a failure. And we go down this rabbit hole and it's not healthy at all. So stop attaching yourself to the outcomes. Do the best. If you have an idea, if you have an intention, if you have something that you love doing, do it. Do it. And if it doesn't turn out perfect or the way that you want or the way you thought it would, that's okay. What can you learn from it? And then that way you again start to build up a resilience and you start to feel more confident because you're like, oh, I learned something from it. It wasn't a failure. And this is something that I think is huge. Failing doesn't equal failure. So often we think it does. Nope. Just because you failed doesn't mean you're a failure. It's one thing. Like, who hasn't failed in their lives? And if you haven't failed and you haven't failed recently in the last couple months, something's wrong. It probably means you're not putting yourself out there. So get some failing in. Again, it doesn't mean you're a failure. Okay, number 5. Now, I just did attachment to outcomes, which are usually the future, maybe not always the future, but now we got to go and do attachment to the past. And I'm going to be vulnerable on this one, but I trust you. Part of this is we're just not willing to let the past go. And we're so focused on what we did and the mistakes we made and how it didn't go the way that we wanted it to. And we just keep thinking of the past and keep thinking of what we did and how we did it wrong. Okay. Kind of like last one, I said, what can you learn from it, right? Just because something in the past didn't go the way you wanted it to doesn't mean that there's not a lesson that you can extract from it. So here's my vulnerable story. So a while ago, I met a guy on a plane, right? And it was really funny. It was a great conversation. We talked for like 5 hours, 4 or 5 hours, like the whole flight there. We were just talking and laughing and being completely stupid, right? So I was going to Austin, Texas, and it was fun, but I was being a complete idiot, like in a fun way. I'm not calling myself stupid or whatever, but like I like those people where you can meet and just be stupid and just be yourself and say stupid things that you ordinarily probably don't say to people. And it just makes you laugh. Right. So that's how this was. Like I felt like I was laughing the whole flight and it was fun. Right. So then at the end of the flight, little old me, all of a sudden, like I say bye to him because it's about time to get out of our row, right? So I say bye to him, and then like I like speed walk down the down the aisle in the plane and off the little runway or jetway or whatever, and just get out of there like very quickly. He was super cool. Now he lives in a different state than me, so do I think anything would have came of it? Probably not. But here's the thing. It's like afterwards, I was like, oh, you should have given him your number. Like, why would you, at least in the very least, why would you not like or want somebody like that to be your friend? Because I don't know about you, but people that just make you die laughing, that doesn't happen very often, right? There's not a lot of people that I can just be stupid and silly with and just laugh like crazy. And so, in the very least, why wouldn't they be your friend, right? But like, in my mind, like girls don't ask for guys' numbers, or that's old school thinking, yes. But I had just got insecure and like, oh my gosh, maybe he didn't see my body, maybe he didn't see this, and just like I didn't do my hair at all today. I'm like, when I go on a plane, then I am just in sweats and a sweatshirt type of thing and just totally chill. And so I just got in my own head and I lost my confidence for a moment, right? Totally lost my confidence. But it's like, are you going to go back and beat yourself up over that? Are you going to talk down to yourself because you didn't do what you now, after you had some more time to think about it, think you should have done? No, it's life. We're going to lose our confidence in certain situations. So, like, the key is, okay, next time, then I'll feel comfortable. Like, hey, I don't laugh like that with anybody. We should be friends or we should stay in communication, who cares? But like, I know what I'll say next time. I learned something from it instead of like constantly beating myself up. No, I learned from it. If I'm ever in a similar situation, then I'll know what to do. I'll know how I will act in that situation, right? So don't beat yourself up over the past. Don't have these past attachments because they totally kill your confidence. Okay, Number six. Number six is being attached to comparison. Compare and despair. John Lee Dumas says it's like when we're stuck on comparing ourselves to other people, to their careers, their relationships, how they appear, their fitness routine, or how their body looks, right? When we're attaching ourselves and comparing ourselves to other people, it truly does lead to despair. And here's the thing. Oftentimes we are attaching ourselves to something that is fake. It's like we don't even know. We're comparing ourselves to all these things, but social media, for instance, we think something's true and we see something and we're like, oh, yeah, she is a badass. She only has a good marriage. She only has the perfect kids. Guess what? Little secret. You're seeing it on social media. You're only seeing what they want you to see. So wasting your time comparing yourself to other people, it's useless. it will get you nowhere. Well, it'll get you misery. It'll help you lose your confidence, but it surely does not help. You're usually only seeing one side of it. And sometimes people like that we think like, oh my gosh, that person has an amazing body. Guess what? They hate their body. They beat themselves up over their body. Maybe they're anorexic or they have some other issue that you don't know about. All you're seeing is one thing. You're not seeing the whole story. So, comparison. It's a thief of joy. Throw it out, get rid of it. And it is okay to block people or to mute people on social media. If they trigger you and they make you feel crappy, you get to start comparing yourself to them. It's okay to not follow them. It's okay to mute them. That doesn't make you a bad person. But we have to do things to be proactive about our confidence, to be proactive about our mental health, right? And if you're not, and you continue to go down that road, that doesn't help you at all. So look at where you're comparing yourself to other people. How can you stop? How can you maybe change things, switch things up a little bit? Like maybe not be on social media so much if that's one of the things that's triggering you. Maybe it's a family member and you just take a little bit of a break from them. Sometimes we just need to pause. We just need to take a break because this comparison thing is not helping us. And then other times it's like, okay, maybe you're comparing to them because you want what they have. Jealousy isn't a bad thing. It just shows you what you want. So it's like, oh, they have that and I can have that. Or it reminds you of the things that you want, and that's okay. But it's just putting it in perspective instead of making it like comparison. They're so much better than me. Their life is so perfect. Everything is going well for them. They can never do no wrong. No, cut that out, right? Cut that out. It's not helping you. Okay, number 7. The 7th thing is seeking external validation. We seek external validation through likes on social media, through accomplishments, and we want other people to tell us good job, or just our peers. Maybe it's at work, right? Just seeking validation. We want somebody to tell us we're doing a good job. They like what we're doing. It doesn't help. It doesn't make you feel any better when your self-worth is in what other people think. Other people's opinions of you are none of your business. Get rid of them. Throw them away. Yeah, people are always going to have an opinions about the things that you say, the things that you do. No matter what, people are going to judge you. That's just life, right? So it might as well be for the things that you like doing, for being you, for owning who you are. Seeking external validation is doing nothing for your confidence. If anything, it's shooting it down, it's killing it. So maybe if you're seeking external validation, you go within a bit more. You take more time to meditate or to sit in nature or journal, do something for yourself, take a bath, right? Something that's relaxing, something that feels good for yourself. Seek validation from yourself, not externally from other people. Okay, number 8 is when you're attached to your past failures and regrets. You totally undermine anything that's going on right now, and you're focused on past failures and regrets, and really the weight of that is what holds you down and prevents you from moving forward, because you're allowing that to define your self-worth and really preventing you from going forward, from doing epic things, because you're so concerned about the things that you regret in the past. That doesn't help you. Talked about it a couple times now. Use it as a lesson learned, as opposed to something that drags you down, something where you beat yourself up over it. You can't do anything about failures. You can't do anything about regrets. Well, you can. You could say, okay, well, if I don't want to feel this in the future, what can I do? Right? Maybe I just pivot a slight bit. Try something just a little bit different. But ultimately, we can't control every single thing that happens to us. So we can choose to look at the lessons, or we can choose to be defeated by it. But that choice is yours. Failures are going to happen. Regrets are going to happen, but you're human, right? And those failures, I really believe that the amount that you're willing to fail is worthy or equal to or a sign of the amount that you're going to succeed in the future. So you have to be willing to fail if you want to succeed. That's it. And I don't think that's talked about nearly enough. Okay, number 9, fear rejection. We often are attached to this feeling of rejection and what's going to happen. People might not like me. They might laugh at me. It's not going to be cool. And so we get in our head about this fear of being rejected. And really, we're trying to be liked by so many people. And then that's not being authentic. That's not showing up as yourself. If you're too worried about what everybody else is going to think, you want everybody to like you, okay, fine. But again, you can't control that. And is it worth losing yourself? When you're focused on doing everything for everybody else, everybody liking you, being portrayed in the perfect light, guess what? You're not being you. If you want to be confident, you have to be you. You have to go within, do the things that you know are true to you. Otherwise, when you're trying to please everybody, you're outside of yourself. And so, of course, you're not going to be confident if you're outside of yourself, if you're making decisions based on everybody else as opposed to what you want. Fear of rejection. So look at ways that you're doing that. Look at ways you're people pleasing or just trying to make everybody happy, or you want to be liked by everybody. And look, okay, is there a different way to look at this? Is there a new way to go about this? Get curious. Instead of being like hard on yourself, why are you doing that? Just get curious and ask yourself questions just so you can learn from it. That's it. Okay. 10th and final one is perfectionism. We are so attached to being perfect all the time, and it's exhausting. It's so exhausting trying to have everything be perfect and never make any mistakes. And if you do make a mistake, you can't show them. Don't show them on social media, right? No, show your stinking mistakes. Be okay with making mistakes. That makes you more human. That makes you more likable. And I'm not preaching here because I can totally get caught in this cycle as well. But it's like perfectionism is boring. So boring. So why are we doing it? With perfectionism, it's setting yourself up for disappointment, right? And like self-criticism. You're going to criticize yourself a lot if you're just trying to be perfect, because nobody's perfect, right? And you're going to inevitably fall short, not get to where you want. And then what? You just beat yourself up for it? Nobody is perfect. Maybe we should start a thing of imperfectionism where we start showing more of our imperfect side instead of being so attached to this thing that everybody has to like us. Nope, that's boring. So we're going to do a quick recap here. 10 attachments that are holding you back from confidence. 1 is attaching to your abilities. 2nd, attaching to your age. 3rd, attaching to others. Attaching to outcomes is number 4. Number 5, attaching to the past. Number 6, comparison. 7 is seeking external validation. 8 is your past fears and regrets. 9 is the fear of rejection. And number 10 is perfectionism. So if you have attached to any of those things, or you're currently attached to any of those things, that is okay. That doesn't mean anything is wrong with you. We all do these things, right? It's just being aware of them. Being aware of them, and then how can we change them? So on Wednesday, you'll get the episode with actionable tips and tactics to move past these things, because we all experience them. And so it's like, okay, cool. Thanks, Marie. Now what am I going to do about it? Right? What am I going to do with this? How do I do something different? Tune in on, I think I said Wednesday, but it's actually Thursday. Tune in on Thursday so that you can hear tips and tricks to move past the attachment to these things and actually take action. With that, we'll end our show. To all the badass women out there staying in the arena, wherever you are, whatever you're doing, own it and get after it.
Now that you've listened to this episode of Ordinary to Badass, we want to hear from you. Go to our website, ordinarytobadass.com/podcast, and submit your own experience on how you took your life from ordinary to badass and get the chance to be on a future Spotlight episode of the show. That's ordinarytobadass.com/podcast. While you're waiting for the next episode of the show, wipe off the sweat, dust off the dirt, and get back in the arena.